many years, DJs have only had one option: wired headphones. But why haven't they cut the wire?
When I'm DJing and I have my headphones around my neck, you're always wired, to your mixer, obviously. And it's a big disadvantage of having the space and the freedom to jump around and to play with the crowd.
Because there's been no way for them to bridge the gap between wireless headphones and their DJ mixer. Consumer Bluetooth transmitters have latency issues when playing back their audio signal, which is why by default, DJs and recording artists have completely written off going wireless. So where does Ether come into the picture? Our story begins less than a year ago when it was brought to my attention how cool it would be to DJ using wireless headphones at a latency rate that's unperceivable to the human ear. It was at that exact point in time when I dropped everything I was doing and made it my goal to bring this project to life. After finding the right team, research and development, and tons of testing on existing transmitters, we found out that the A to D converters and standard Bluetooth chips just can't convert audio signal fast enough.
I currently perform with wireless headphones, but it's a huge pack. I've got a box I gotta plug into my booth. I've got a hip pack that I've gotta carry around on my belt. Sometimes the cords get stuck when I'm sitting and then they get ripped out, and it's pretty embarrassing when that happens live. So you can imagine the heartache, the headache, the struggle that this would save.
So how does the Ether transmitter work? Very simple. Choose any Bluetooth wireless headphone, pair it to the Ether transmitter, plug your transmitter into any DJ mixer or headphone preamp, turn up the volume, and you're good to go. Almost a year later, and we're a little short of funding to finalizing the Ether transmitter, and we need your support. We're offering some pretty cool perks. So let's cut the crap, cut the cords, and let's bring the Ether transmitter to life.
Live your life, be free. You know you have it all.
Hey everyone, we're Boards, the team that designed the world's first smart sub.
Our patented award-winning design is bringing joy to people all over the world, and a lot of them said they would even like to have a SEPA board just for the self-inflation. So here we are, introducing SEPA Boards Air, the next step in the evolution of stand-up paddleboarding. All you have to do is activate the magnetic switch and let the rechargeable battery take over from there. It's so easy to fall in love with this sport. It's great exercise, and if you're as lucky as we are, you get to enjoy some pretty beautiful scenery in the great outdoors. Stand up. That's the first thing on our minds in the morning. And that's why we keep our boards so close at hand. Probably because they fold up so small that we can just stash it anywhere. And that small size comes in handy again when we want to hit the water. Just toss it in the back of the car and head off. Everything you need is right in your backpack. You don't need to worry about a thing. Not even pumping. You know, there's talk that paddleboarding is set to become an Olympic sport. But why not pumping? After all, that's the hard part.
That's exactly why I don't love pumping. With my SEPA Boards Air, I just start it up.
To continue our mission of spreading the sport of paddleboarding, we developed the self-inflating SEPA Boards Air line, whose technology makes sure that your ISUP is always at the right pressure and hardness. As for the board itself, top-notch quality means drop-stitch technology that will keep your board shape for years, even if you take it on rougher water. And our Swiss quality control guarantees that the board you'll be getting is perfect. And our leash isn't just for your safety, it's also for carrying your board to and from the water. Smart, huh? The bag you'll be carrying your Sepaboard Air in is perfect too. Toss in your board, fold up the bag, and even store your collapsible paddle. But here's the best part. To truly customize your paddling experience, our new Air models come in 3 beautiful shapes. A cruiser, perfect for the paddler who wants to hit the water fast and paddle hard. A stable balance board for a moment of serenity in your favorite spot. And an all-arounder for families and fun lovers of all kinds, especially those who want to spend as much time in the water as they do on it. But no matter what your preference, your first board needs to be awesome. It'll be with you for years. So Sepaboard's Air is not made just to self-inflate, it's also made to last. Be one of the first to feel how our state-of-the-art design will make it all the more tempting to sneak off and hit the water for a session.
And speaking of sneaking off, that's exactly what I gotta do. I'm off to a board meeting.
Thank you so much for loving our Sepaboard's Air as much as we do. And thanks for your support. See you on the water.
Hi, Cindy. Banana. Banana.
More, please remind me 2 minutes later.
No problem.
More, who can I contact for ID design? Which department?
Wait a second.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mommy in a cottage on the edge of a big forest. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Daddy.
Oh, thank you.
This is Mommy. This is Daddy. This is me. Hey,
How do you learn about robotics?
Well, the best way is
with a robot? We'd like to introduce you to Marty, a fully programmable and customizable walking robot. For kids, for makers, and for educators.
Marty's not your standard smart toy. He's designed by roboticists to be a real robot that you can do some really cool stuff with.
While being as fun as a toy. You can use Marty to learn about robotics, programming, electronics, and mechanics. Or you can build your own stuff with a walking robot that will hold a Raspberry Pi, and which you can customize with 3D printed parts.
Marty's not like other walking robots. His unique 3-motor and spring leg design lowers costs, but also makes him easier to use and his battery lasts longer.
He can walk, turn, kick a ball, and of course do funky dances. Marty is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can remote control or program him from your phone or computer.
You can also download apps or games other users have made from our Robot App Store.
Marty lets you learn real programming on a real robot. Start off with Scratch, where the coding is as simple as clicking and dragging blocks. You can make a dance routine or start interacting with the environment.
When you're ready, you can move into Python, a powerful but easy to use programming language.
But robotics is way more than just programming. Marty lets you learn about all kinds of things. Motor control, balance, sensors, mechanical design, and more.
Marty is really customizable and upgradable. The electronics make it easy to add all kinds of sensors and motors, and they'll even support a whole computer like a Raspberry Pi.
Add a camera, and you could even program him to play football.
All the parts are 3D printable, so you can make whatever you can imagine.
Marty started out as a side project during my PhD. I've got nieces and nephews who are starting to get to the age where they could play with robots, but I couldn't see a walking robot toy that was more than a novelty, or at least not one I could afford. So I made one. We could actually use Marty to help teach robotics at university, but he's as easy to use as any other toy. Also, as a maker, I wanted a walking robot that I could use as a base to build cool stuff with. I've spent the last 1.5 years working on this little guy, and now we're ready to go from functional prototype into a real kit that you can buy. We've spoken to manufacturers and we know how to do it, but we need your help to make it happen. Please help us make Marty a reality.